Hey everyone, Jeff here, and today we're diving back into the Man with No Name trilogy. We're going to review a couple 4K classics from Kino Lorber. Hey everyone, so thanks for coming back to the channel. In today's review, we're going to look at both For a Few Dollars More and A Fistful of Dollars on 4K in this double 4K review. We'll talk about video quality, audio quality. I'll talk about the comparisons between this disc and the previous Kino Blu-rays because there are some major differences, at least with one of these releases. And I'll give you some packaging special features breakdowns and let you guys know whether or not this one's going to be worth upgrading for your collection. Now, before we get started, I need to give a shout out to HD Movie Source because they sent me both of these and they have been supporting my channel for the past couple of years and it's been awesome working with them. Right now, they're running a 4th of July sale. You can get 20% off on their site using code ID4 if you buy 4 movies or more. So if you're looking to make a big bulk purchase here, code ID4 gets you 20% off at hdmoviesource.com. So we're going to kick things off here with For a Few Dollars More. And this is presented on 4K here with a new scan from Kino that was previously released on Blu-ray in 2018. That Blu-ray was a great disc, but now bringing it to 4K with true 4K resolution, it's a game changer. This looks like a pristine film print. It is right up there with some of my favorite 4K releases like 2001 or Django from Arrow Video or The Shining or Jaws. I mean, it looks like a pristine film print. It looks like you're watching the 35mm, which is awesome. The 4K resolution is really the big game changer. And you know, if you're looking at some of the screenshots here, you're not going to see a big difference in color grading with this release. The color grading is pretty consistent with what was on the previous Blu-ray. But you're also probably not going to notice a big difference in resolution because you're watching this on a phone, a tablet, a laptop. If you put this disc up on your 75, 80-inch TV or even your 60, 65-inch TV, you're going to immediately notice how much more detailed and how much better the quality is on this release compared to the Blu-ray. They're still pretty close. That Blu-ray is an excellent release, but if you really want to take the next step, 4K is the way to go, and getting the full benefit of that 4K resolution is a game changer. Now, on neither of these releases are HDR. Kino is just, I guess, not a fan of HDR. They don't typically do any HDR in their 4K releases, but I have to say I can't complain. They mention here they went shot by shot, frame by frame, and did color grading on this release. So even though there isn't HDR, they clearly have gone back and color corrected it and done a lot of work on the color grading. So you don't always necessarily need HDR. It is a nice benefit a lot of times, but it's not always necessary if you're doing color grading within the original transfer. Would I have liked to see HDR and what that looks like for this release? Sure, but it may not have made much of a difference. Now in the audio, this ports over the 5.1 lossless surround track and the mono track from the previous Blu-ray. So you get both options. You get that real purist mono track, which is obviously super front heavy, but that one is pretty clean. If you want the original sound, that's going to be the best way to get it. Dialogue's still very clear. I personally prefer the 5.1 on this because of the score. The score in this movie and the music from Morricone is just unbelievable, and getting that expanded into 5.1 just sounds amazing. You're not going to get a huge amount of surround movement, and you're not going to have anything near the level of like a modern, 4K movie, but it's still pretty front heavy. But the score, being able to spread across 5 channels is really cool, gives sort of an orchestral experience. So I like the 5.1 for this one, but mono is also available if you enjoy that. Packaging here, we got the slipcover with some new artwork, pretty nice. Inside, same deal. And then when you open this thing up, you get the pretty standard Kino Lorber Studio Classics Blu-ray 4K disc. Nothing crazy there in terms of artwork, and they do not provide digital copies. Now the special features, all ported over again, but you get an audio commentary from a couple of film historians and critics. You get some on location behind the scenes. You get a couple of archives from the Christopher Frayling archives. You get some archival footage there. You get a Clint Eastwood sort of look back on For a Few Dollars More. You get a couple of other behind the scenes featurettes, image galleries, radio spots, trailers. Typical what you'd expect with Kino. It's pretty loaded with special features, and there's a few good featurettes and behind the scenes archival footage that you're not going to get anywhere else. So for a few dollars more, I highly recommend this. The video is a solid 5 out of 5. One of the best looking 4Ks I've ever watched. Will easily make a top 10 list for the year at this point. Kino is on an absolute roll with their stuff, and they've been killing it on 4K, so I can't recommend it enough. And the audio is plenty good, packaging and special features all around. This is one you definitely want to own, and if you don't have the Kino Blu-ray, you gotta at least get that. Either the Kino Blu-ray or this Kino 4K, depending on if you've upgraded your equipment yet. But I'd go with this 4K. Comes with the Blu-ray disc anyway, so you can't really go wrong there. If you're still sitting on your old MGM releases from 10 years ago, throw those out. This is a huge difference. So now let's talk A Fistful of Dollars. This one is really interesting because even though it had the same situation where Kino put out a 2018 Blu-ray with that new transfer, they recolor graded it here for 4K. So for a few dollars more, same color grading. Looks pretty close. This one is drastically different. On the 2018 Blu-ray, Kino did something really odd where they applied this heavy yellow filter to the entire image, and it really throws off a lot of the color grading. It almost looks like those episodes of Breaking Bad when they go to Mexico and everything turns to yellow. It's that heavy. It was heavy, and you'll see it in the screenshots how big a difference this is. So they removed that, and it says here they did extensive shot-by-shot color grading again of the logarithmic restored 4K files. So they really went back and color corrected this for 4K in a way they didn't have to do for a few dollars more, and it makes a world of difference. So if you had the old Kino Blu-ray and you didn't like that, or you never picked it up because of the bad coloring, this is a drastic improvement, and it's by far the best the movie's ever looked. Now it's also highly detailed. 4K transfer, 4K resolution here. It's much more detailed and has much better quality than what the Blu-ray could give you downscaled to 1080p. So that's another major reason obviously to upgrade. Again, looks like a pristine film print. Looks as good as for a few dollars more, but this one even has the added advantage of being corrected with all that color issue that we had on the Blu-ray. So this is probably the bigger upgrade of the two and the more important one to make sure you upgrade to 4K. Now same deal here with the audio. We're porting the same stuff over from the Blu-ray, but again, I prefer the surround track because of the score. I like the louder ambience. I like the way that it spreads across all 5 channels. The mono is still very good. You have that option. They never take that away from you, which I enjoy about Kino releases. They give you that original audio. But I like 5.1 because you just can't beat the musical score on these movies. Now the packaging is pretty similar to the other one. You get a slipcover. On the inside you get the same artwork, and then if we pop this open again, you've just got your couple of Kino Lorber Studio Classics discs. Nothing crazy, and no digital copy. Special features include a couple of audio commentaries again from film critics and historian Christopher Frayling. You get an interview with Marianne Koch. You get a new kind of hero featurette. You get a few weeks in Spain, which is Clint Eastwood talking about the experience making the movie. Again, you get 3 friends. Remember Sergio Leone? That was a featurette behind the scenes that was also on for a few dollars more. Some location comparisons, and then those image galleries, outtakes, radio spots, trailers, things like that. So pretty heavily loaded with special features, but a lot of that stuff is ported over. Actually, I believe it's all ported over from the Blu-ray 1-to-1, so no real upgrade there. The reason to buy this, and the reason that I also give this a solid 5 out of 5, is because of the color grading. The difference here is night and day, and I'm glad that Kino realized that they screwed something up with their Blu-ray transfer, and they corrected it here and made it look much more natural. And just the 4K resolution is great, but man, do you need to upgrade this for color grading. It is miles and miles ahead of where Kino's previous attempt was, which is, I know, disappointing for those of you who bought that release, and I bought that release too and was sort of disappointed with the coloring on it. This fixes it. So, you know, sell your old copy, trade it in, upgrade to 4K, but it's going to be well worth it, and I highly recommend both of these movies on 4K. So if you want to pick these up, I will put a link to Amazon in the description in the pinned comment. That helps support my channel, so I appreciate it. But like I said, if you want to check out HD Movie Source, or especially if you're overseas, international, you can't get those North American releases very easily, check out HD Movie Source. I'll put their link in the description along with their coupon code ID4. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed enjoyed this, make sure you're subscribed and like this video so others will see it and you make sure you never miss a video. Also, check me out on social media. All the links are in the description, as well as all links to my partners and people who support the channel. I appreciate you supporting them because they help me, you help them. It's a win-win for everyone. So thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great 4th of July weekend here, and I'll talk to you guys soon.